look here, Joe. These tracks right here.
Yeah, they come down the road here.
They're not far. Crook and Lily can smell them right here, but I don't see anything in here that we want to kill. I mean, here's a pretty good sound, some half-grown ones, maybe a young boar, but I know that we've got a bigger track on down in there. I'd rather turn out on it.
Point to a track real quick. Look at it.
So right here. That's a sow. That's a young, half-grown hog right there. It's hog tracks right there. There's where one stuck its nose in the mud, and you can tell by Lily and Crook. Look at Crook. See him checking that wind. See him checking that wind. He can find these hogs right here, but it's not going to be anything that we can beat our chest about. It'll just be more pigs, which we're thankful for anything we can kill, but he can find these right there.
Boy, we got some good weather today.
Yeah. I say we're going down to the bottoms.
Get it.
Somebody's got a picture every now and then of a giant boar. I've seen him on, and we'll go down there and turn loose, see if we can find his track. Put him on that track and see if we can kill him first. If not, we come back here. Who knows? So lots of people ask us, about feral hog management and things. And it's true, I do love to hunt. But the benefit is how that we use it to help others. This time of year, the reason why we're showing you this, everybody's got their corn feeders out. And if you live in the South, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got a corn feeder out, that big bore hog, he turns it over, then he tears a hole in the barrel, then he eats all the corn. You set it back up and he does it again. You stake it down and they bend the legs. You try to put it in a trough and the hogs jump in the trough. So many of y'all fight the same battles. And so many of my buddies are like, Brad, before you put your dogs up, before bow season, you got to come and kill these big boars. And so this video, we actually had 4 boars that we caught in just a couple of hours one morning. The Lord blessed us. We were successful really quickly. But these loner boars, we call them satellite boars, kind of like an elk. They will leave the sounder and they will get off. They love to get off by themselves, and they get really regular to these feeders. If they got a good cool spot to lay, and then they'll go about once or twice a week and they'll mark their territory, then they'll always come back and they're staying around by these feeders. They'll only return to that sounder when it's time, when a sow comes in season, and the rest of the time they're sitting out there by themselves, and they can be a real nuisance. And I cannot tell you how many I've killed like that for my friends and people all around in the South. But this particular day, we had a spotted boar. He had turned over the feeder, and he was just a real problem. And so that's the first one that we got. The next one we went to get down there, you can see he is sitting by the feeder night and day. And this is the one down in the bottoms, and Jerry will show you a picture of him. He was a big black boar. We got some really good footage of him getting bayed by the dogs, but he was keeping all of the deer out of the area. Now, you know that those hogs, you know, it doesn't bother them. They'll go in there, but the deer hate to come in there where that hog is. And so many of the hunters will tell me, Brad, I had not got a picture of a big buck or even a deer at all in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, because that boar stays there all night long. And I go down there, he comes back. And so some people have some problems with this and they want me to kill that boar. Some people says, Brad, you know, I don't want your dogs in there messing the woods up. Well, it's quite the opposite, really. The dogs that we have are highly trained. I breed my own line of cur dogs. We call them bay dogs, but they're yellow and red. Mine all look pretty similar. They will not run a deer and they will not touch a deer. And those deer, and we've got plenty of evidence and years of research on this, but those deer will just move out of the way. We'll come through, we kill the hog, and those deer will return back there within just a few hours, many times the night of. So he had not had a picture of his good bucks at this location in probably 3 weeks. We dispatched that hog at 9:30 that morning, and that very first night at 3 a.m., 2 really nice bucks show back up. They were there the next morning eating. They have not done that in 3 weeks. And so as soon as we remove those hogs from that area, the deer will come right back in. Even though there's barking, there's hogs screaming, there's us driving our buggies, those deer will not leave, and they just come right back in because they do not want to smell that live hog there. So every time we pull those hogs out, it's helping. So when it comes to conservation, the same way that you would spray your house for bugs to keep the bugs out, or the same way you use a fly swatter or fly spray for insects or any other type of animal, bats that's a nuisance, you can imagine these feral hogs on corn feeders, tearing cameras off trees, tearing up corn and soybeans. They do all this, and my buddies that we hunt for, they are thrilled every year for us to come in and take out those problem hogs right before season. That way everything is cool and those bucks come in and they have a lot better success even within just a day or two after we hunt. So the reason why I carry all those bay dogs, the Dogos will do it all on their own, but if I turn loose the Dogos and 2 hogs separate and one goes a mile over here and one goes a mile over here, they're gonna run it until they catch it. All of my dogs, my Dogos, I can put them on a track, they'll run that hog until they catch it. But if you've got 2 hogs a mile apart or 2 miles apart and they're both caught, I don't want to deal with that because I'm in a hurry and I can't get to everywhere at once. So what the bay dogs do is they help me find a lot more hogs quicker because I have a lot more soldiers on my team, and all they'll do is stand there and corner that hog up and bark at it and bay it, and they will hold it until I can make my way around. And so it is nothing to have 2 or 3 hogs. I mean, I've had 5 or 6 bayed at one time, and I'm just going around, and then I can move at my own pace. I can go quick if I want to. I can send the Dogos. I can send the Dogos over here. Then it's a lot safer way to do things when we're doing it on our time.